From Nutrien Ag Solutions, I'm Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, August 28th, 2023. We'll start off looking at the satellite picture as we typically do. There's a lot going on across parts of the oceans here surrounding North America, but pretty quiet as we look at the continental landmass here across North America. Again, we've got Hurricane Franklin, it's a major hurricane out in the Atlantic. We've got Tropical Storm Idalia that's expected to become a major hurricane as it makes its way toward Florida as we head into the middle part of the week. But as we look at the jet stream across Western Canada, again, we've got an upper level low across the Pacific. We've got this large ridge across Western Canada, and then the jet stream kind of comes up and over the top of that ridge. So clear skies, mild conditions across much of the prairie to kick the week off. We'll have a couple of subtle disturbances that make their way through midweek, and then again, really toward the early part of next week that could bring some scattered precipitation to the area, but not looking at anything in the way of widespread heavy soaking rain over the next 7 days. A lot of places probably going to be mild and dry, except for that chance for a midweek shower or thunderstorm. Again, the radar pretty clear across Western Canada today. The only showers you're going to find as you make your way well off to the east across parts of Ontario. You can find some shower activity, but Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, pretty much on the dry side on our Monday morning. Those temperatures, again, it's morning. They're a little bit on the cool side, but mild in general as we head through the afternoon today and tomorrow and on Wednesday in a lot of areas. It'll be later in the week that we'll see some cooler temperatures start to move in. Now, the last 7 days of precipitation really went about as forecast as we talked last Monday about corridors of heavier rain. The most likely corridor, again, being focused across Grand Prairie, Peace River, over toward Edmonton, generally north of Calgary, with that other corridor coming from southern Alberta into central parts of Saskatchewan. Isolated hit-or-miss precipitation otherwise across the rest of the prairie. A lot of other folks with disappointingly low amounts. You can find some showers across parts of southern Manitoba as well, along with some intense thunderstorms. There was actually some heavy rain and some hail, along with some high winds, with a couple of storms across southern Manitoba over the weekend as well. Now, as we look at the next 7 days of precipitation, we're looking at the ensemble model. So this kind of, smooths it out, gives us kind of a broad look here. And again, you can see no one really picking up a lot of precipitation. We'll have maybe the best chance for some accumulating rainfall across the Front Range here, parts of western Alberta into southern Alberta, but generally talking about light precipitation, heavier rain focused well off to the south and to the east here with our tropical impacts across the southeastern U.S. Now, here's a look at the evolving upper level picture. As I hit play on this, there's really a lot going on. We start off with a pretty obvious ridge. We start to work some subtle troughing in before maybe a bigger trough comes in toward, again, the weekend into early next week. Let's go ahead and stop this one. Let's go through time on this and show you the evolution. Now, again, starting the week off, trough over the Pacific, big ridge over Western Canada. So this is a warmer and drier look for us here with those faster jet stream winds riding over the ridge and then down around the base of the trough in, off to the east. The Hudson Bay down into Ontario is where we got that trough. Now let's animate this. We'll take it through midweek. This is when we first see that little disturbance make its way in here Wednesday into Thursday. This is what brings us that chance for some scattered showers and storms in the area as that little trough kind of sinks in. As we head into the weekend, we got to go back to this same pattern. I feel like I've been talking about this being the pattern in days 5 to 7. And what I mean by this is this high over low look where we get this trough over this ridge over a trough. And this is a pattern that, again, can be kind of stubborn to break down. It's one that generally gives us drier conditions. And as I kind of just drag this out further, we're into the first few days of September now, September 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We start to see a larger trough try to develop across Western Canada. This could bring us maybe some cooler temperatures, maybe the chance for another run of precipitation. We'll see that when we look at the rainfall forecast, but this would maybe give us a storm track that could send a couple of disturbances kind of riding over the ridge in the Aleutian Islands and then following this trough across Western Canada into the region. So question marks here, maybe some rain as we get back into the first few days of September, maybe later into the first week of September. But until then, probably going to be pretty quiet, excluding our midweek chance for showers and storms. So here's the European, the ensemble look at the precipitation. We're looking at this in a sliding 24-hour window. So this kind of gives us an idea of the drier and active time frames over the next 7 to 10 days. As I bring this back again, starting off dry. This is the start to this week. We've got rain off to the east across Ontario, maybe some parts of Manitoba picking up a shower as you head off to the east today, but by and large, everyone across the prairie going to be dry today. This takes us into your Tuesday, still dry across much of the prairie. Wednesday into Thursday, here's where this little trough starts to sneak in. So showers expand across southern Alberta into southern Saskatchewan on Wednesday into Thursday. This little disturbance gets out of here. This is when we see that little high over low pattern start to take shape. And then, we kind of watch and wait. When do we start to see maybe that broader trough take over, bringing back the chance for showers and storms? If we believe the European ensemble model, that would start to creep back into the area. You look at the date up here, we're talking about September 4th, 5th, and 6th. This is way out there. This is talking about, the early part of next week, days 8, 9, and 10. We'll look at the jet stream winds. This is at 500 millibars. This will kind of help us pick out the disturbance embedded within this. Here's your ridge over the area with the big trough to our west. This gives us those dry, mild conditions as we start off the week. We'll take the drawings off of here. Again, kind of move through time here, day by day. This is your now Monday night into Tuesday. I see this little kind of subtle lead disturbance. Maybe that kicks off a couple of showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday across southern Alberta. The bigger push of upper level support comes in Wednesday. Again, this primarily looks south of Highway 16 and is not going to be a soaking rain event, but isolated to scattered showers and storms late Tuesday into Wednesday, generally south of Highway 16. As we get into the weekend, this is where we get that high over low look. This right here, this is too far south for us in the prairie, and this would be, again, dry conditions for us as we get through the weekend. This is September 2nd, Saturday, September 3rd, Sunday. Now we're starting to see kind of this messy pattern where here's the trough, but here's the main branch of the jet stream kind of racing off to the north. So we need to kind of get these two to kind of merge and combine. Let me go ahead and get the buttons back up here so I can draw. So we need these to kind of, merge and come together. And that's what happens as we get to the early part of next week. We start to see that jet stream consolidating once again so that we don't have this bigger trough south with a main branch off to the north. Now we're starting to get much more of a consolidated push of jet stream winds. This would maybe give us the opportunity again for organized shower and thunderstorm activity early to mid next week. All right, so we'll look at the European, the operational precipitation forecast. So this is going to be a kind of verbatim, more specific look. We know that we have to kind of, understand that there's some uncertainty when we get into the deeper part of the forecast with this model as it tries to give us its specifics. Now, the specifics over the next couple of days are dry. So here's your Monday forecast. Again, maybe a shower or two across portions of Manitoba. This is your Monday night. This is your Tuesday. Dry across the prairie, except for maybe an isolated shower or storm across this region. This is your Tuesday night, now Wednesday morning. This is where we get the main upper level low, the main storm system tracking south of Highway 16. Scattered showers and storms across southern Alberta and southern Saskatchewan on Wednesday afternoon and evening. Can't rule out a couple strong storms, especially across this region right here. We'll have some instability in the region. We'll have that low moving in. So Wednesday afternoon and evening, Wednesday night, maybe watching the chance for some severe weather south of Highway 16. This low continues to move off slowly on Thursday, still looking at isolated to scattered showers and storms across the prairie on Thursday. We start to quiet out on Friday into the weekend, likely looking at a dry weekend across the region. This is when we have that kind of the high over low to the west. We've got the split flow with the disorganized jet stream across the region. So probably going to be pretty quiet over the weekend. We head into Sunday, early next week. This is when we start to bring in at least isolated to scattered showers and storms, the jet stream trying to consolidate back across the region. I have very low confidence in the specifics here, but let's start thinking about what a unsettled next week, what a scattered shower and storm having first week of September might look like. I need another cup of coffee. I am struggling with the words here, but pretty quiet this week. That chance for Wednesday, Thursday showers and storms, but maybe a more active next week. We just need to let this pattern kind of sort itself out. As we just kind of take a look at, the forecast over the next few days, pretty quiet. We just have that midweek, Wednesday, Thursday chance for showers and storms, generally south of Highway 16. The European on the left, the NAM on the right, we got some disagreement here. Again, neither of these models is going to be exactly right. We're talking about just isolated, scattered shower and thunderstorm activity. It's going to be very variable as we look at the total precipitation. We're not looking at a broad area of light rain. We're not looking at a broad area of heavy rain. It's going to be a lot of folks missing out, and then some folks picking up a heavy downpour, maybe a half an inch of rain here from one of these showers or thunderstorms. And, worst case, maybe picking up some hail or some high winds, especially Wednesday afternoon and evening across areas south of Highway 16. So it's just going to be a hit or miss kind of week. A lot of dry days, though, as we talk about Monday, Tuesday being pretty dry, likely much of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday being fairly dry as well. Now, again, those temperatures going to be generally on the mild side, maybe trending a few degrees cooler as we head into the later part of the week with a couple of those storm systems moving in. As we get to the weekend, I wouldn't be surprised to see some warmth returning to the region. So over the next 10 days, probably more warm days than close to average or even cooler than average. What that looks like here in Calgary, again, 30 for the high today and tomorrow, down to the mid-20s for the rest of the week. Edmonton, very similar, 28, 29, down to 24 for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Regina, you're kind of riding the wave with the storm systems moving through here. Again, 28 today, 30 for the high Tuesday, Wednesday. The midweek storm system moves through and drops you down to 24 on Thursday. You're all the way back up to 30, though, by the time we get to the weekend. Very similar look in Saskatoon and then Winnipeg. Further to the east, you're feeling the impact from the troughing across Ontario today and tomorrow, a high of only 23, back up to the mid-20s in advance of our midweek storm system, and then likely warming back up to around 30 degrees for the highs over the weekend.